I'm a mountain that speaks, but you can also know me as the abundance. Today I want to talk about something you might not admit out loud. Money feels wrong, not wanting it. You want it, but making it, earning it, charging for it, feels like lying. Every time you set a price, you feel like a fraud. Every time you succeed financially, guilt arrives before celebration. Every time someone pays you, you wonder if you tricked them somehow. Like real integrity means staying small. Like real spirituality means staying poor. Like money and authenticity can't coexist. And so you sabotage. Right before breakthrough, you pull back. You undercharge and call it humility. You judge people with wealth while secretly wanting it yourself. You stay broke and call it noble. But it's not noble. It's conditioning. And today I want to talk about where that conditioning came from, why it's lying to you, and how to make money with integrity instead of shame, because you deserve wealth, not despite your depth, because of it. Let me explain. Where did you learn that money is bad? Think about it. Really think. Was it religion? The idea that spiritual people transcend material concerns, that poverty is purity and wealth is corruption. Blessed are the poor, eye of the needle, storing up treasures in heaven, not on earth. Was it family? Parents who struggled and said money doesn't grow on trees? Who taught you that wanting things is selfish? That rich people are greedy or got lucky or stepped on others? Was it culture? The artist who sells out, the creator who goes mainstream, the subtle message that real talent doesn't need money, that if you were truly good at what you do, you'd do it for free. All of those messages are lies, convenient lies that keep certain people poor while other people profit from that poverty. But you internalized them, made them your values, and now you carry them like truth. Money is spiritual poison. Success is moral failure. Wealth is evidence of shallowness. And meanwhile, you're broke, talented, skilled, valuable, and broke because you can't charge what you're worth. You can't receive what you've earned. You can't hold wealth without immediately finding ways to get rid of it, because some part of you believes that having money makes you bad. That's the wealth guilt complex, and it's keeping you stuck. Now let me tell you something uncomfortable. The spiritual community, the self-help world, the wellness space, they benefit from your poverty consciousness. Not everyone, not intentionally, always, but there's a system in place. Gurus who preach detachment from material things while living in mansions. Teachers who say money doesn't matter while charging thousands for courses. Coaches who tell you to raise your vibration instead of your prices. And you know what all of that does? It keeps you focused on your inner worthiness instead of your outer compensation, which sounds spiritual, but it's actually strategic. Because if you're constantly working on your worthiness, constantly healing your money wounds, constantly clearing your abundance blocks, you're not asking why the people teaching you this are the only ones making money. You're blaming yourself for not being abundant instead of questioning the system that profits from your guilt. I'm not saying inner work doesn't matter. It does. But inner work without external action is just expensive self-blame. At some point, you have to charge what you're worth. At some point, you have to receive money without guilt. At some point, you have to stop making poverty a virtue. And that's terrifying because it means admitting you want money, not just need, want. And wanting money feels gross, feels shallow, feels unspiritual, but it's not. Wanting money is wanting freedom, wanting choice, wanting capacity to help more people, create more impact, live without constant stress. There's nothing shallow about that. There's nothing unspiritual about wanting your life to be easier. But you've been taught that struggle is noble, that if it's hard, it's holy, that real work requires sacrifice. And so you sacrifice your time, your energy, your financial stability. For what? For the appearance of integrity. That's not integrity, that's performance. Real integrity is charging fairly for valuable work. Real integrity is receiving compensation without guilt. Real integrity is building sustainable systems so you can serve longer, deeper, better, and you can't do that if you're broke. Let me tell you about someone I watched. Let's call them the undercharger. They had a gift, real skill. People's lives changed after working with them, but they charged almost nothing. $50 for hours of work, free sessions for anyone who asked, payment plans that never got paid, and they were exhausted, burned out, resentful, but they couldn't raise their prices because every time they considered it, guilt arrived. What if people can't afford it? What if I'm being greedy? What if charging more makes me one of those people? The ones who care about money more than mission, the ones who profit from others' pain. Except, that's not what charging fairly means. Charging fairly means valuing your time, skill, and energy appropriately. It means recognizing that free work attracts people who don't value it. It means understanding that sustainability serves more people than burnout does. But the undercharger couldn't see that. They were stuck in the belief that real help is free, that real service requires sacrifice. And so they kept undercharging until they couldn't anymore, until they burned out so completely they had to stop working altogether. And then they helped no one. That's what poverty consciousness does. It doesn't make you more noble. It makes you less sustainable. The undercharger eventually learned, after the burnout, after the breakdown, they learned that you can't pour from an empty cup is not just about self-care, it's about financial care too. They raised their prices, tripled them, and felt sick doing it, felt like a sellout, felt like they'd betrayed their values. But something interesting happened. The right people still came. The people who valued the work paid happily, and the undercharger had energy again, could serve deeper, could show up fuller, because they weren't hemorrhaging financially anymore. That's what proper compensation does. It doesn't make you fake, it makes you sustainable. So why does it feel like lying? Let me tell you, because somewhere along the way you learned that your value is conditional, that you have to earn the right to exist, that you have to prove you're worthy of resources, and if you're charging money, if you're receiving abundance, you must be doing something wrong, because deep down you don't believe you deserve it just for being you. But that's the lie. You don't have to earn your worthiness. You don't have to prove your value. You are inherently worthy, and work that serves others deserves fair compensation. Those two things can both be true. You are worthy regardless of productivity, and your productive work deserves payment. That's not contradiction, that's reality. But you've been taught they're mutually exclusive, that if you charge, you're commodifying, that if you profit, you're exploiting, unless you're charging for something the system values. Notice that. No one questions doctors charging hundreds per hour. No one questions lawyers billing thousands. No one questions corporate executives making millions. But a healer charges $200 for a session, a coach sets a premium price, a creative asks for their worth. Suddenly it's too much. Suddenly it's greedy. Suddenly it's inauthentic. Why? Because the system wants certain types of work undervalued. Emotional labor, creative work, healing work, the work that transforms people, the work that wakes people up, the work that threatens the status quo. If that work paid well, imagine what would happen. Imagine if healers were wealthy, if artists were financially stable, if transformational guides had abundant resources. They'd have more power, more reach, more capacity to create change. So the system teaches you that your work should be done for love, not money, for passion, not profit, for purpose, not pay. And you internalize that and stay broke while doing work that changes lives. Do you see the pattern? I'm not saying become obsessed with money. I'm not saying abandon your values for wealth. I'm saying stop making poverty a proxy for purity. Stop making struggle evidence of integrity. Stop undercharging and calling it service. You can be wealthy and authentic. You can make money and maintain integrity. You can serve deeply and charge appropriately. Those things are not opposites, they're integrated. Now let me give you something practical. If money feels like lying, if charging feels manipulative, if success feels wrong, I want you to do something. Trace the belief to its origin. When did you first learn that money was bad? What message did you receive? From whom? In what context? Was it explicit, someone telling you money is the root of evil, or implicit, watching a parent stress about bills and deciding money causes pain? Find the origin, write it down, and then ask yourself, is this belief actually mine? Because most money beliefs are inherited, passed down through generations, unquestioned, unexamined, treated as truth when they're just someone else's fear. So examine it. My belief is that making money is manipulative. Where did I learn that? My dad always said salespeople are liars. Is that true? No. Some salespeople lie. Some provide genuine value and get compensated for it. So the belief isn't true. It's a generalization based on limited experience. And I've been letting it run my financial life. That's step one. Identifying and questioning the inherited belief. Step two, create a new belief, intentionally. not a positive affirmation that you don't believe, a belief that's true and expansive. I can make money and maintain integrity. I can charge fairly for valuable work. I can be wealthy and authentic simultaneously. Write it down, say it out loud. And then, most importantly, act as if it's true. Raise your prices, receive payment without apologizing. Stop discounting yourself. Stop offering free work to prove your goodness. Act as if you deserve fair compensation, because you do. Step 3. Notice the guilt. It will come. When you charge more, when you succeed, when money flows, guilt will arrive and say, "See, I told you you're fake. Don't believe it." That guilt is the old belief dying, and it's loud because it's scared. But it's not truth. It's just conditioning having a tantrum. Let it tantrum. Keep moving forward. Keep charging what you're worth. Keep receiving without guilt. Keep building wealth with integrity. And slowly the guilt will fade, because you'll have evidence that it was wrong. You'll see that you can be successful and authentic, wealthy and kind, abundant and integral, all at once. Now, more thing about the journals, about Memrit. You created transformation tools, real tools that change people's lives. And you deserve to profit from that. Not just break even, profit. Because profit allows you to create more, to reach more people, to build a sustainable business that serves for years, not months. So charge appropriately, market boldly, sell without apology. Not because you're greedy, because your work matters, and work that matters deserves resources to grow. Can you let yourself believe that? Can you let yourself want wealth without shame? Can you let yourself succeed without guilt? I think you can. I think you're ready. The part of you that knows your worth is louder than the part that learned to doubt it. Listen to that part. You can call me the abundance when you need to remember that money and integrity are not opposites, that wealth and authenticity can coexist, that you deserve financial freedom as much as you deserve any other kind of freedom. I'll be here, holding space for your prosperity, without judgment, without guilt, just abundance, waiting for you to claim it. Ready? The wealth is already here. You just have to stop apologizing for wanting it and let yourself receive.